Line to left. Cruz is going to have to play it on a long hop. Obake McBride gets an 0-2 breaking pitch over the plate, goes to the opposite field, and he's aboard. His second hit of the afternoon. He bluffs going again, and it's hit, and a fly to third baseman Cabell into left field. Cruz will get it back in, and the Phillies have something going. Back to him. He short hops, and he forgets where the buttons are. Oh, I don't know whether he caught it or not. If he short hopped it, and now we're going to have an argument. Just a moment. Did he short hop it or did he catch it? If they go back to second base, they got a triple play, depending on if he caught the ball.
Now this is something.
Doug Harvey and Ed Vargo, two of the senior umpires in the National League, having the discussion. Harvey was blocked out. He's out.
It's a
triple play. And the inning is over. Here comes Dallas Green.
We have seen everything in this series.
I do not believe it. Doug Harvey, which he had to do. He had to ask for help. He got it. It's a triple play.
Let me tell you something. If there is nobody breathing in Philadelphia, if there is nobody alive after this turn of events, you can understand it. It's unbelievable. Look at Pete Rose.
Now they're going to ask for more appeals, more opinions. The Phillies standing back, the four umpires doing the talking. Doug Harvey, Ed Vargo, Jerry Crawford, and Bob Engel. Here comes from the right field line, Bruce Froemming. From the left field line, Terry Tata. You will get all six of them in there. And now Pete Rose is asked to move back. Larry Bowa is asked to move back. They will try and restore order.
Well, I can't get any opinions from Froemming and Tata, not from out where they were. What they want to do is assume control of the field situation. And I don't see any way in the world they can reverse that decision.
If they do now, you will hear some kind of a roar go up in the Astrodome, and it might be the ninth wonder of the world.
It would be an explosion, not a roar.
They will still talk. Bill Verdon watching what's going on. And it appears that the decision will stand. He is out. It's a triple play. The side is retired. And Ruben Amaro, the third base coach, he is livid. Let's look at it again.
Let's look at the replay now. Here. Let's see what shows here. Watch as closely as you can.
He caught it. Yes, he did.
Caught it. Got the glove under the ball. Now the rest of the play.
There's the looper.
Or did he?
Or did he? Now I don't know.
Or did he?
They go to first. They will throw to first, and that is the double play. Now there's two outs. The runner has gone from second to third already, Howard.
Yep, and watch how. We'll keep going on this replay. Now watch this. Pujols came out. Howe runs to touch second. That was it. And Dallas Green is enraged. Bowa is livid. Absolutely livid. But we showed you two different angles there. On one it appeared he caught it. On another it appeared questionable. Now let's look at it from behind again.
Look at it one more time.
That's the one that makes it questionable.
It's hard to say because of the length of his webbing. Look at it again.
But from this angle, it will appear as if he caught it. This would cause Pete Rozelle, the football commissioner, to tell you this is why you can't count on replays. There, it looked like he caught it.
It appears that he caught it. I believe it was down and buried in the webbing, Howard. I believe he caught the ball.
Well, that's the way it's ruled, and it doesn't matter. It's not going to be changed.
Right now, moving over to the first base dugout, the commissioner of baseball, Bowie Kuhn, in the booth just to our right. There it is again.
Go backwards. That's it. Now let's go forward. The webbing of the glove.
The glove is
that
on the
angle
ground.
appears to be under the ball.
They are talking on the first base side by the Houston dugout to the National League president, Chub Feeney, the two senior umpires, Doug Harvey and Ed Vargo. Dallas Green will wait another decision. Bruce Fromming coming over. There's the conversation.
What may be happening is a confession by the umpires that there is doubt among them. This is not an easy spot for Chub Feeney.
No, it's not an easy spot. I would not want to be in that spot. Chub Feeney is saying that if that's what you said he did.
No, I wonder.
Oh, I don't know. The way that Chub was looking, I wonder what's going to happen. They're going to bring the Astros back onto the field, I believe, and they're just going to call the runner out at first base, if that's what they call.
Well, apparently there was doubt. Then it'll be Verdon's turn to explode.
And not only Bill Verdon, but there's 44,000 plus people in the stands, and you know that they're going to explode.
I wonder if they're going to ask to look at the replay.
They're getting a little bit antsy right now because it's taken a while to get the Phillies off the field, and all of a sudden the conversation with Bill Verdon would mean only one thing, Howard, that they are going to exchange, I believe, they're going to change their decision. And now Bill Verdon's going to get a little hot. I'll guarantee you the quiet man will get a little hot.
Dallas Green stands aside.
Here comes
now the crowd's beginning to get a little hot.
Green is still, I think Dallas feels as though he has an upper hand.
Bowie Kuhn is very placid. We're not in the spot where we can see him, but this isn't his baby.
This is a National League decision, and I know the commissioner is probably just as happy that he does not have to make any decision right now.
Well, you can only guess from here, but I think quite clearly the umpiring crew confessed to doubt when they spoke to Chub Feeney.
There's no question in anybody's mind that they confessed to doubt. I think that first of all, there was doubt as soon as Doug Harvey went and asked for help from the first base umpire, Ed Vargo. The Phillies still on the field. Now, wait a minute. Now the Phillies are getting hot again. Mike Ryan, Dallas Green, and Starrett, the pitching coach, and it appears it's going against the Phillies now.
Well, umpires are only human too, and their indecision has seemed apparent. Now look at Bobby Wine.
Your backs are to the wall. You have not scored. The Phillies have been exasperated, and you know Dallas Green is livid right now.
Well, if it is officially a triple play, it's the first triple play in Major League playoff history. And it occurred in such an unorthodox way. Usually it's a line shot with the runners running.
Dallas Green can get you told in so many words, and he is getting Doug Harvey told right now. But it appears it's got to be, and Dallas kicks the dirt as he goes back down into the dugout. Well, I wonder what they're going to do with the runners. Now they're going to, McBride is going back to second base. They're going to call it a double play. Now how do they get that out of that?
It looks to me like some kind of compromise.
I don't know how they compromise that.
I guess the contention is that the umpire's indecision at the moment was what enabled Howe to have the time to get down to second.
That very well could be, and it might be that Doug Harvey going down the dugout might be calling upstairs. Dallas Green, whether he protested the game or not, I don't know. But maybe Doug Harvey is calling somebody upstairs to find out exactly what might be going on, or explaining it to the public address announcer, to the official scores, and then we will get word on that very shortly. But it could be because of the umpire's indecision, Howard, that they will allow McBride to go back to second base, and it appears that that's exactly what they're going to do. Well, I've never seen anything like that. But Manny Trio is out at first base. If that's what they're going to do, I don't see Trio out there. The hitter, should the Phillies stay at bat.
Well, wait, we've blown the picture up a little from the home plate camera. Now let's watch this nice and easy. There it is. I don't know. I just don't know either way. Would not constitute, I think, evidence in a court of law.
There is the National League President, Chubb Feeney. Bill Burton, regardless of the outcome, has got to be happier than Dallas Green. Bill thought he had a triple play. He ends up with a double play. Dallas Green thought he had one out and runners at second and third. He ends up with a double play, a runner at second, and Larry Bowa, the hitter. So the double play will go 1-3 if you might be scoring with us.
We're trying to get official word on this as quickly as possible.
Well, there's Bake McBride at second base.
What they apparently decided was that the ball went back to second base after time was called after the execution of the double play on Manny
Trio at first.
Manny Trio, yeah.
Now, right now, let's go down to Steve Zabriskie, our colleague, along with the National League President, Chubb Feeney.
Thank you, Don. Chubb, there was some confusion. You had a discussion with the umpires. The ruling now has been changed. What was the discussion? What was the original ruling? And now what is the ruling that is going to prevail?
The ruling now is Doug Harvey, the plate umpire, was blocked out, he says, by the base runner. He called it a trap ball. Afterwards, both the third base umpire and the first base umpire said the ball was caught. Since the play was made to first base, the runner was doubled off first. Doug Harvey's ruling is that because his call may have confused the other runner, he's back on second because he was confused. They made no play on him at the time. So there's a man on second and 2 outs.
All right, Chubb, thank you very much. National League President Chubb Feeney ruling with the help of the umpires that because their decision confused the runner at second base, that meant that the runner at second base probably would not have been tagged out even if the play had been ruled right in the beginning. And so they're allowing the runner at second base to go back, ruling that it is a double play, and the runner at second will be there with 2 outs. Okay? Let's go. Let's listen to what Chubb is saying with Harvey.
Alan, we are.
They're still having a discussion, but Chubb Feeney would rather that we not participate in it. If he has any more to say, I'll get with him in just a minute. Let's go back up to Don and Howard.
Very good, Steve. At least Chubby has explained finally what happened.
Well, that seems to be fair. I can understand the confusion in that if you're Bake McBride. And I can understand, that we said that right at the very start, that Maddox had to block the home plate umpire, Doug Harvey. But Doug Harvey made the right move to start with. If you're not sure, ask for help. And he got the help from the third base umpire. And that third base umpire is Bob Engel. He got it from the first base umpire, Ed Vargo. And right now, let's go down to Steve Zabriskie one more time.
Okay, thank you, Don. Now, Doug Harvey has talked to Dallas Green and has come back over to President Chubb Feeney's box, and apparently the Phillies are now going to play the game under protest. Even though they got a little bit of the ruling back, they are still going to play the game under protest because they feel the ball was, in fact, trapped. Okay, back to you, Don and Howard.
All right, Steve. Well, one thing, you won't have to have anybody sending in any reports, I don't think, unless that's just a formality, Howard, because the National League president is sitting right here. You heard Chubb Feeney. He sees and he saw what went on and what is going on. The commissioner of baseball off to our right, Bowie Kuhn, watching the goings on. So here's where we are. We're in the top half of the fourth inning. We have 2 outs now. Larry Bowl will be the hitter, and Bake McBride will be at second base. We have no score. Game number 4. The Phillies with their backs to the wall, and they are living in that third base dugout. Bowl bounced to short his first time at bat, and should the Astros get out of this inning, you will hear a roar wherever you are outside of the state of Texas.
Nearly 15 minutes of discussion among them. Now let's see what the effect is, if any, on Rule.
Well, he's had a chance to warm up a little bit, waiting for things to happen. To the second baseman, Morgan. They're going to get out of it. They do. The Astros walk the tightrope one more time. Through 3.5, the Philadelphia Phillies nothing, and the Houston Astros nothing.
I'm back down here with National League President Chub Feeney, and during the course of that last report I gave to you, Doug Harvey came back over and said the Astros are also going to play the game under protest. Chub, now that both teams have protested, do you feel that there are sufficient grounds for both of them?
I think that we have very good umpiring crew out there. They know what they're doing. They saw the play as it was. Right now, I would say that there would be no protest, but I'd have to make that decision after the game.
Okay, thank you. National League President Chub Feeney. Let's go back to the booth.
Unusual, uncommon, unprecedented, unbelievable, incredible, astonishing. That was Game 4. Arguments, protests, conferences. In Game 4 yesterday, it took virtually the entire judiciary of the National League to handle all the problems that arose in the 4th inning. It began to look for a time as if it might never really come to an end. And certainly there didn't seem any other moment in the game that could come up, that could match that 4th inning in drama. But Lord knows both teams and all the people involved sure tried. Let's recall some of those moments and begin with that dramatic 4th inning. McBride and Trio on second and first after successful singles. Gary Maddox hits a little pop toward Houston pitcher Vern Rule, grabs the ball, throws to first to double Manny Trio. The Phillies roared from the dugout that Rule had not caught the ball cleanly off the dirt. First baseman Art Howe picks up the ball and, looking like a broken field runner, runs over to second base, steps on the bag where McBride had been. The Astros won a triple play, but wait, plate umpire Doug Harvey had not signaled an out on the catch. Harvey summoned his fellow umpire Ed Vargo from first to talk about it. Vargo believed Rule had caught the ball. Harvey then called the out. And the Phillies come charging out of the dugout thinking Harvey's called triple play. They're like a brigade on the field. Look at it again. The umpires then go to talk to National League President Chub Feeney, seated along the first baseline. After the conference, the decision, not a triple play, but a double play. Both teams then protested the game and the decision. Was it a compromise? Don Drysdale earlier asked umpire Harvey.
Doug, was it a compromise?
In no way, Don. In the first place, when the ball was struck, it was not a line drive per se. It was what we call a humpback line drive, and as the ball went away from me towards the pitcher, in my mind's eye, said that's going to be close, he might trap it. And I just leaned forward. Well, as I'm ready to see it actually happen, Maddox cut across in front of me. And now in my mind's eye, like I say, I said to myself, it couldn't be a trap. I've got him running. I looked up immediately. I see that the runner from first has broken completely. I've got to call it something. This all takes a matter of 1/100th of a second. I mean, these are things that go through your mind. I said, I've got to call it something. I've got 2 runners on the bases running. I have a batter running. I put hands down. I says, I'll straighten this out later. I went hands down, never having actually seen whether he caught the ball or whether it was trapped. But it was my call basically all the way, Don. If I even get a glimpse of it, I call it, I stick with it. Nobody changes my mind. I don't care if I'm wrong from here to Toledo. I would have stuck with it because my call. I immediately now, they throw to first base. Vargo gives them an out call. I have to figure out, does he mean single out on the batter runner? Does he mean double play out? So that's when now I see everybody charging. I know that the runner from second has gone part way and stopped until he saw my hands down. Then he broke for third. The other runner, like I say, broke immediately from first. He went immediately. So now I called timeout. I walked over to Ed Vargo. I says, Eddie, how'd you see it? I said, I've got to have some help on it. Do you? Eddie came right out and says he caught the ball, Harv. And I turned around and I said, all right, double play. Now This is about the time that Art, the first baseman, Art Howe, takes off and runs over to second base, and they appeal the guy having left second base. Well, before this ever happened, I had it in my mind there will be no triple play because that runner went on my hands down.
Why?
Because he feels I've said no catch, so he has to advance. He's being forced to advance, actually, according to his mind. But when the other thing did it, then I've got a directive at home that came out some 10, 11, 12 years ago maybe, but it says if, because of the umpire's actions, it causes a counteraction by a player, which puts that player in jeopardy, the umpire may negate that and put the runner where he thinks he should be, and that's what I did with him.
Chubb Dallas Green's protest was negated, of course, by the Philadelphia victory. When did you take action on Bill Verdon's protest?
I took action right after the game, Howard, but there really wasn't much to Bill's protest because, one, the decision was an umpire's decision. It was not a rule violation or a misinterpretation of the rule by the umpires, plus the fact that we have a rule in the book that if the protest does not have an effect on the game, which this didn't, as Boa made out, the protest would be negated.
And the umpiring in Game 4 didn't make things any easier. One hopper to the pitcher. He throws to first. Maddox is out at first. Everybody else is safe. Wait a minute. What's Harvey ruling? Wait a minute. A triple play? No way. They're ruling a triple play. They're ruling the ball was caught on the fly, and it was not.
The next day, with the Phillies' backs to the wall, the series turned truly bizarre in the fourth inning.
Broken bat, one hopper to the pitcher. He throws to first. Out at first base is Gary Maddox. Now Houston arguing that they might. Wait a minute. What's Harvey ruling? Wait a minute. A triple play? No way. They're ruling a triple play.
After much screaming and pleading from the Phillies, umpire Doug Harvey changed his mind, and the double play that became a triple play became a double play again.
Down 1-0 with runners on first and second and no outs, Gary Maddox hit a soft liner to the mound. Then all hell broke loose.
That could be, they called him out. We're going to have could have a triple play. A triple play. I don't believe it.
It was a clear short hop. And Doug Harvey behind the plate is calling this right away. And then they start throwing around to the bases, tagging bases all over the place. It's a triple play and everybody's running off the field.
Oh, I think the Phillies were robbed here. He made the sign that that ball was trapped. And the Philly base runners were in jeopardy at that point.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Boy, I don't know what else can go wrong, how many ways the Phillies can be prevented from scoring.
And I'm holding Pope. Pope wanted to get over there and get in the middle of the yard. I said, just sit here. They'll work it out.
I thought, what else can happen? You know, what else can happen to keep us from winning it?
And you just thought sooner or later, they've got to reverse this and get it right. Well, they didn't get it right.
Now, wait a minute. McBride is going back out at second. I don't see how they can call one of those runners out. Looks to me like they made some kind of a compromise.
After all that, we didn't score.